Thank you guys for joining us for Oak Nights. I am super excited to have my friend Jessica from Discovering Wilderness joining us this month. We're going to be talking all about trailside meals.
I would like to know more about your favorite freezer bag meals.
I really did enjoy the spaghetti that I made the last time we were out. It was ramen noodles, tomato sauce, just like canned tomato sauce. I forget what brand, if it was Lipton or something else, but that spaghetti flavoring packet. And then I feel like there was one other ingredient in it. Oh, Parmesan cheese. Super simple, but it was actually really good. So I will definitely be doing that again. I do like the couscous a lot. And one note with that, dehydrated can be different than dried. So especially with fruits, like the first time I did it with dried blueberries as opposed to dehydrated blueberries. They were still great, but they were much chewier when they were dried as opposed to dehydrated. So those are two that I really like. And the mashed potatoes are really good. They're very hearty. And there's some stuffing mixes too that are very simple to do, and you can put some dehydrated meat in there, or even bring a can of chicken that you open and dump in. Some people don't like doing that because then you have this bulky can, but you could always put it in a different container, like a plastic bag.
You can also do the tuna in the pouches.
Yes.
And I have seen chicken in the pouches as well. I haven't tried it, but I have seen
Yeah,
it.
it's good.
Is it?
So.
Okay, good to know.
That'd be much better than a can.
Yeah.
So,
Lighter too.
yeah, so those are some of my favorites that I've done the last year.
Definitely for me, it's the mashed potatoes. I actually found, so I shared a couple of things I put in. I think the favorite way to do the mashed potatoes that I found this past fall was with a little bit of a packet of instant gravy mixed in and some sea salt and pepper jerky. So it added the salt and pepper. It was already on the jerky. Mixed it right in. It made it just really hearty and delicious. And with a side of cheese, because I took enough cheese, I could have a cheese stick with every meal. It was great. Every dinner, not every meal. And then I actually also really love oatmeal. I really love oatmeal. I came back from doing a 12-day backpacking trip and craved oatmeal. I still eat it several times a month, if not a week. I'm almost out right now. I need to add more oatmeal to the shopping list. But I love dressing up my oatmeal with raisins, or dried cherries are really good. Craisins are delicious. You can pre-mix your brown sugar in. One of my things that I took on the trails, kind of a luxury item, was I found some butter granules. And yeah, and it was marketed for going on popcorn, but you put that on anything. Yeah. And so it's just this little container of these dehydrated butter granules, and it made the potatoes that much more delicious. It made the oatmeal that much more delicious. And when you're doing that kind of an outing, that kind of an adventure, it's extra fat and you need it. So I was all for like the extra butter. Like, that's not enough. We're going to add a little more butter to that one. So it really takes that, what could sound so boring as a dehydrated meal, and gives it a little bit of extra oomph and a different texture and makes it feel richer. And that makes it more satisfying, which is really important as well. At least for me as a picky eater on the trail.
Yeah, cheese can do that as well. And there's the little triangular cheese, which is used in that mashed potato recipe, which it says in the grocery store, and they sell them in the refrigerated area, but you actually don't have to keep them refrigerated. They'll stay fine during your trip without refrigeration. So it's a nice way to add creaminess and kind of bulk up an item.
Cheese in general, if it's not a really soft cheese, like a cream cheese, in which case you can get the packets, then you're getting the extra waste. It's a whole other conversation again. But it travels really well unless you're in exceptionally warm temperatures or really drastic temperature changes. And just pack it further down in your pack. Keep it a little more protected and temperature controlled versus like up in the top where it's getting a lot of exposure to sun, and it travels great.
You could tuck it in your pot while you're not using your pot.
If your pot has room.
True, yes,
Yeah.
if it's not full of your stove and your fuel.
Yeah. So there's ways to protect it and keep it from getting soft and mushy.
You can do some interesting things too with herbs and spices, and there's a place in Boulder, it's called Savory Spice, and they have dehydrated like cheddar cheese that you put on popcorn and stuff like that. They've got all all different kinds of really wonderful things that, you know, and couscous was another big thing that we used to use
Yeah.
also.
Any other questions or comments?
Nuts are really good in oatmeal too.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
pecans,
Walnuts.
I
Yeah.
also liked adding hemp hearts. Added some
Oh, I've
extra
never tried
nutritional
that.
benefits, some good omegas, and they have a really, if you haven't tried them, they have a very earthy taste. So it was a really good addition. And then chia seeds is another one that mixes well into oatmeal.
That's some good protein and texture, which is
Mhm.
what I like about putting nuts in. Is
Mhm.
you're not eating this mushy blob. You've
Yeah.
got other things in there.
So you had some examples of freezer bags that you don't throw away you don't throw, that last longer, but is that one just a regular from the
Yeah, these are all regular freezer bags, the
Okay.
same thing that you guys got, and so yeah, if it's not damaged, like there's no hole
Yeah.
in it, and you take it home and it seems like it holds water again, there's no reason to not
Okay.
use it.
Okay.
Yeah. That style I've gotten 6 to 8 meals worth. And if I'd been more careful, maybe I could have gotten more. But you know, you're tired at the end of the day. You can only be so careful. One thing I will advise against, I mentioned rolling these down so you can reach to the bottom with your spork if the handle's too short. Those are words I'm trying to get all run together into a single word. It didn't work out. If you roll the top of one of those down, it will split that seam on the top.